The murder trial for the Hamilton homeowner who shot and killed a man who broke into his truck has come to an end. The jury today finding Peter Khill not guilty of second-degree murder, a verdict that has once again outraged Canada's Indigenous community.
Can you talk, please?
No comment.
No comment from the man just cleared by a jury of his peers. Peter Khill walked out of court this morning with his pregnant wife in hand. 28-year-old Khill admitted he shot John Stiers back in the early hours of February 2016 outside his home near Hamilton. But his lawyers argued he fired in self-defense, believing Stiers was about to shoot him.
Mr. Khill's position always was that he acted within what the law would permit, and that's what the jury found at this stage. So vindicated might also be a good word.
The jury hearing the incident occurred in the dark after Khill heard a noise outside his home and went outside with a shotgun to find Stiers attempting to steal his truck. Khill said at the time he drew upon his military training. However, Stiers, a 29-year-old father of two from the Six Nations Reserve, did not have a gun at the time of the shooting. The trial drawing comparisons to another high-profile murder trial involving another Indigenous victim. In February of this year, an all-white jury found Saskatchewan farmer Gerald Stanley not guilty of second-degree murder in the 2016 death of Colton Boushie. He was shot in the head while sitting in an SUV that had been driven onto Stanley's farm. The group had been drinking during the day and tried to break into a truck on a neighboring farm. Ava Hill, the elected chief of Six Nations Council, said today in a statement, quote, "How can Indigenous people have faith in the relationship with Canada when the justice system fails to hold anyone accountable for the taking of a life?" Adding, "These are real people. Jonathan Stiers, Colton Boushie. They were all born with mothers and fathers, raised as children with hopes and dreams, and were loved as adults with families and responsibilities. It is unfathomable that their tragic deaths are unanswered by the Canadian justice system."
Would you be able to talk to us?
However, Khill's lawyers argued that race did not play a role in this case, saying in the pre-dawn pitch dark, there was no way he could have known Stiers was Indigenous.
With this case, we took pains to ensure that this verdict would have no connection to race whatsoever. That an outcome might not have been what people wanted doesn't mean the trial was unfair.
And for this trial, jurors were screened for possible racial bias, and the jury included at least one non-white person. Now, this 12-person jury reached their verdict after less than 24 hours of deliberation.